Anxiety. It's a silent storm, a wave of unease that crashes into our minds when we least expect it. It makes us doubt, overthink, and question everything we do. But what if I told you that over 2,000 years ago, ancient philosophers devised methods to tame this storm? Welcome to Wake Up to Stoic Wisdom, where today, we explore how Stoic philosophy can help us overcome anxiety. In a world filled with uncertainty, anxiety feels inevitable. It sneaks into our lives through social pressures, career challenges, personal relationships, and even the fear of missing out. But the Stoics, thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, believed we could rise above anxiety by changing our perception. They didn't have the distractions of social media or the pressures of modern life, but they faced wars, exile, and loss. Their teachings transcend time, offering us tools to find peace even in chaos. Let us begin with a profound quote from Marcus Aurelius: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In this one sentence lies the foundation of today's discussion. Anxiety does not come from external events. It comes from within, how we interpret those events and the stories we tell ourselves about them. But before we dive into practical techniques, let's take a moment to understand anxiety through the Stoic lens. Anxiety stems from two key sources: fear of the unknown and attachment to outcomes beyond our control. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down. The height itself does not make you anxious, it's the thought, "What if I fall?" Anxiety is the gap between what's happening and what you fear might happen. Epictetus explained it perfectly when he said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things." Let's break this down with an example. Imagine you are running late for an important meeting. The fact that you are late is neutral, it's neither good nor bad. But the thoughts that follow: "My boss will think I am irresponsible," or "this could ruin my reputation," turn the situation into an anxiety-filled ordeal. Stoicism teaches us to challenge these judgments and strip them of their emotional power. With this understanding, let's move to the heart of the matter: practical techniques to manage anxiety the Stoic way. The dichotomy of control is the cornerstone of Stoicism. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, our actions, thoughts, and choices, and let go of what we cannot, like other people's opinions, the weather, or the outcome of events. Imagine you are preparing for an exam. You can control how much you study, how well rested you are, and your focus during the test. But you cannot control the difficulty of the questions or the grading curve. Worrying about these uncontrollable factors only drains your energy. Instead, channel that energy into what you can influence. When you feel anxious, pause and ask yourself, "Is this within my control?" Write down your worries and separate them into two columns: things you can control and things you cannot. Physically crossing out the latter can be liberating. Negative visualization is one of Stoicism's most powerful tools. It involves imagining the worst-case scenario, not to scare yourself, but to prepare your mind and reduce the emotional impact. Let's say you're anxious about losing your job. Picture it happening. Imagine the initial shock, the conversations with your family, and even the financial adjustments you need to make. Now, remind yourself that you have faced challenges before and survived. This exercise helps you see that even the worst-case scenario is rarely as catastrophic as your mind makes it out to be. Marcus Aurelius practiced this technique regularly. He reminded himself of life's uncertainties, loss, failure, and even death, not to dwell on negativity, but to appreciate the present and face the future with resilience. Anxiety often pulls us into the past or the future. We replay mistakes or catastrophize about things that have not happened. The Stoics emphasized living in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Here is a simple exercise: take 3 deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of each inhale and exhale. Notice your surroundings, the colors, textures, and sounds. Grounding yourself in the present moment can create an immediate sense of calm. Another practice is mindful walking. As you walk, pay attention to the movement of your feet, the feel of the ground beneath you, and the rhythm of your steps. These small acts of mindfulness anchor you to the now, where anxiety cannot thrive. Journaling was a daily ritual for Stoics like Seneca. Writing helps you clarify your thoughts, confront your fears, and see them from a different perspective. Set aside 10 minutes each evening to journal. Start by writing down what made you anxious that day. Then, ask yourself, is this fear rational? Is it within my control? What's the worst that could happen? Often, you'll find that your worries are either exaggerated or entirely baseless. You can also use your journal to practice gratitude. Write down 3 things you are grateful for each day. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, reducing anxiety's grip. The Stoics believed in practicing voluntary discomfort to build resilience. Seneca, for instance, would sleep on the floor or eat plain meals to remind himself that he could endure hardship. Try skipping a luxury for a day, like your morning coffee or your favorite TV show. Take a cold shower or spend time outdoors without a jacket. These small acts remind you that discomfort is temporary and that you are stronger than your anxieties. Voluntary discomfort trains your mind to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for growth. It rewires your brain to view discomfort as a natural part of life rather than something to fear. Let's now turn to an inspiring story. James Stockdale, a U.S. Navy officer, was captured and held as a prisoner of war for over 7 years. During his captivity, he endured torture, isolation, and uncertainty about his future. Stockdale credited Stoicism, particularly the Dichotomy of Control, for his resilience. He focused on what he could control: his mindset, his responses, and his leadership of fellow prisoners, while letting go of what he couldn't, like his captor's behavior or the duration of his imprisonment. His story is a testament to the power of Stoicism. Even in the darkest times, these principles can guide us to strength and clarity. You don't need to be a philosopher or a prisoner of war to benefit from Stoicism. Start small. Each morning, take a moment to reflect on what's within your control. Each evening, journal your thoughts and practice gratitude. Whenever anxiety arises, remind yourself of these techniques. Ask, is this within my control? Visualize the worst-case scenario and realize you can handle it. Ground yourself in the present. Embrace small discomforts to build resilience. Anxiety may feel overwhelming, but with the wisdom of Stoicism, we can face it with strength and serenity. Remember, it's not the events themselves but our perception of them that shapes our experience. Stoicism is not about ignoring your emotions, it's about mastering them. If you found these techniques helpful, let me know in the comments which one you will try first. And as always, stay mindful, stay resilient, and keep growing.